Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Samantha and I am the Luxe wife, and welcome back to another White Talk Wednesdays. It is June. We have made it another month to White Talk Wednesdays, and I'm super excited. When I first started White Talk Wednesdays back in March, one of my very first videos was the 5 key values of a wife, which was respect, femininity, selflessness, family oriented, and obviously be supportive. And for the month of June, I want to focus each week on those topics. So we are going to dive deep into it. And first, we are starting off with this respect, which is a very big one. They're all big to me, so that's just that. If you are new here, you just want to go ahead, hit the like button, and please go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you join the family. And if you're not new here, or welcome back, I'm so happy that you continuously return from my Wife Talk Wednesdays. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. So respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Respect is so big when it comes to a marriage that honestly, a lot of times respect is in so many things in your marriage that you don't think about, and we are going to talk about it so that way you can think about in some areas where you yourself may be able to improve, and things you can discuss with your spouse so that way they may be able to improve, and we can always talk about the positive, the not so positive things that we do. And as always, I'm more than welcome. I am more than happy to use myself as an example, because what am I here for if I am going to sugarcoat everything? Because baby, that's not what we are doing. Okay, so respect. When it comes to your marriage, you have to be able to respect one another. You have to be able to understand when you're not being respectful of someone's opinion, respectful of someone's position, and you have to understand places that you may be overstepping. And honestly, for a lot of us women, a lot of times, I'm gonna just be honest with you, we overstep. We 100% overstep in so many ways that, not that we do it purposely, it's so much of a habit that it's just in our nature. So we have to break habits that puts us in a position to be disrespectful to our spouse. Okay, so if our husbands, or if we are in a position and our husband says, I am going to handle it, or I am going to do XYZ, we have to be able to sit still and allow them to do it. We have to be able to sit still and also, in allowing them to do it, not have anything else to say about it. Because at the end of the day, they're our husbands, and they're our husbands for a reason. If you didn't trust your husband and you didn't trust his instinct, baby, why did you get married to him? And that was something I had to tell myself. My husband is not going to do every single thing that I do the same exact way, and that's okay. But I had to learn to be okay with it. I just could not be rude, be disrespectful, be condescending, because I felt that he wasn't doing things in the manner I felt he should. He's not my puppet, and I'm not his parent. I am his spouse, and I have to understand that he is his own person, and the type of man that he is, regardless of the route that he takes, he's going to be successful in all things that he does. I just have to allow him to have his space so that way he can do those things. You understand what I'm saying? And me being rude, or me being condescending, or me being disrespectful definitely does not help. So even when it comes to the smart replies or the smart Alex, it's just unnecessary. I know sometimes it can seem like it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal to us, but it's more of a big deal to them. Nobody wants to be undermined as a spouse. Nobody wants to be undermined in their position. If somebody came to your job telling you exactly what you need to do, how you need to do it, you would 9 times out of 10 have a problem with it. And because you would have a problem with it, you have to understand that your spouse would have a problem with it as well. So stop talking. Stop talking. We do more harm talking. Stop talking. We do more harm talking unnecessarily. There's a reason why men are a lot of times quiet, because they know a response is not needed for everything. Our 2 cents is not needed for every single thing. Does it grind our gears that they may not parent the way we do? Yes. Does it grind our gears that they don't do things exactly when we ask them to? Yes. But at the end of the day, do we do everything correctly? Do we do everything when we're supposed to do it? No. So the expectation of expecting them to be perfect and we're not perfect, we got to let that go. The expectation of expecting them to allow us to be rude and disrespectful to us and still love us in the manner that we want to be loved, we have to let that go. There's no reason why we should hold certain things over our men's head. Especially when women have gotten to a place where they've built their self up, whether it's in their career, whether it's educational backgrounds. We like to condescend men in so many ways, and it's so detrimental. It's so detrimental. And I have to say to myself, and I want you to be able to say to yourself, if you know somebody and when you're having these conversations, when you converse with someone, just to be able to understand, like, baby, that's disrespectful on so many levels. That's disrespectful. You don't have to hold your position. They don't want to hear about what you work for, how you work for it, because if you got the right man, if you have the right husband, he doesn't care how hard you work for it, because he's going to work even harder to make sure he can top every single thing that you're doing for yourself. So please, when you address yourself and you say, I bring this to the table, I bring that to the table, I do this, I do that. If you're bringing disrespect to the table as well, you might as well take your table, break it down, and leave. Yep, you might as well, because no one wants to be in a situation. No one wants to be in a marriage where they're not served. They don't want to be in a marriage where they are disrespected. And that's just that. You can't go into your job and disrespect your boss, because it's consequences behind that. So if you will not go to your place of employment and disrespect your CEO, don't go to your house and disrespect your husband. Because if you think that your CEO has a higher position in life and you won't disrespect him, but you come home and disrespect your husband, baby, we have some real things to talk about. Okay? So respect your spouse. Respect goes a long way. Think about what you're saying before you say it. Think about how it sounds prior to it even coming out of your mouth. Okay? And a lot of times, I know you guys have always heard, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because yes, how we say it as well, if you're not saying it correctly, it's rude and it's disrespectful. There's no need to overstep. There's no need to undermine your husband's abilities. Allow them to be the man that they are, because he's allowing you to be the woman that you are. He's allowing you to have your space, and in this new time, this soft era, for you to be able to flourish. So allow him to be the man that he is and continue to grow to be the man that you need him to be in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and 60s, and so forth. Being disrespectful it's just out of the question. And I've told you guys before, there have been times I have said some things that I should not said. I have allowed my character to be flawed in so many ways, and it was just so unnecessary. But I was able to take a step back and say, okay, Samantha, who cares about what you built up and what you did on your own? You are now a team. So all of that is null and void. Okay, in this moment, it is null and void. And if you continue, if you think you want to go far, you have to go together. You just have to go together. So mind the things you say, Mind how you say things. Mind your body language, how you talk to people, how you connect with people. Don't find yourself disrespecting your spouse in the front of other people. If there is an issue, you deal with that issue when you leave, not in the presence of others. So make sure that when it comes to you respecting your spouse, you are on your P's and Q's at all times. I've said before that guess what? When you walk out of this house, you're a representation of your spouse. You're a representation of your family every single time you walk out of the door. Every time. You want to be treated with the utmost respect, baby, you got to give it. You got to give it. You can't be at home disrespecting your family and then you go out here and you mad because the cashier was mean to you. You go out here and you get to the store and somebody almost hit your car. Listen. This world goes around, okay? It goes around. And what goes around comes around. And what you put out there, ultimately, you get back. And I will say to you, I say this to a lot of people that I meet, 90% of life is how you treat others. The other 10% is just life. But don't let that other 10% dictate how you treat the rest of the 90% of your life. Okay? 90% of your life is how you treat others. You see somebody, they look good, they're flourishing in life, and I'm not just saying they look good as a facade, but they taking care of themselves, their spouse look good, the children look good, everything is intact. 90% of the time they have a good spirit. They have a good, it's a good in them that cannot be replicated or duplicated, okay? It just can't be. Good people are good people. And I want you to understand, in order to be a great person, don't just portray it, but you have to be it. You got to walk the walk, talk the talk. You have to do it all. You have to do it all. Remember to respect your spouse, respect yourself, stand your ground in your position. When you realize, if you're in a conversation where you hear, sometimes you can hear yourself, you can hear things coming out of your mouth like, okay, that wasn't right. I didn't say that correctly. Stop, address it, apologize. Be as apologetic as you need to be, because people understand and people recognize people who are trying. Because you can apologize, but if there's no change behavior behind the apology, then why did you apologize in the first place? Was it just to soothe the other person, heart? If you're going to be apologetic, you have to put some change behavior behind it. And again, I know it's a work in progress, because for some of us, it's just secondhand. It's just second nature, the way we say things, the way we carry ourselves, because we have to be stronger than other people. But you better learn to shape shift in different places, in different positions than you need to be. And when it comes to your husband, you better learn to step back and say, this is not the fight that I need to fight. This is not the person that I need to fight. If you got to be tough with your kids, be tough with your kids. But when it comes to your husband, shape shift, and you be soft with your husband. Okay? If you got to be soft with your husband, and then you got to be tough with the kids, and you got to be a little medium at work, baby, you just have to do what you have to do. But you find your lane. Don't allow disrespect to take over your persona, because disrespect is very loud, okay? It's very loud. It's in the way you walk. It's in the way you talk. It's in how you carry yourself. Disrespect is very loud. But guys, that's it. Next week, we will be talking about femininity, which is a big one. It's a really big one. And I think you'll love it, because just like respect for me is top tier, is number one. Femininity also goes into that. And if you are in your feminine place you should be, you wouldn't even cross the boundaries of being disrespectful. You see how they all just kind of like flow and intertwine? Because you know what? They're supposed to. They're supposed to. That is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until the next time, until the next Wife Talk Wednesdays, I will see you guys later. Bye.